I'll read week 4 results for break and bet, value betting. How did we do this week? Watch on to find out. Right, welcome back. As you can see, these are the results from week 4. Definitely our worst week so far. Trying to go into why. But as you can see, we only got a 57.83% strike rate. And to be honest, things could have been a lot worse because this was down at 50% most of the week. So ultimately, the bottom line for return on investment was minus 9.73%. So we're getting on for like a 10% loss of our stake. You can see we put £223 worth of bets on, and we lost £21.70. Like I say, the worst loss so far. I only managed 83 bets, which is a lot lower than normal. There was a few reasons for that. First, I was busy. You can see the decorating gear. I'm still doing this flat, trying to sort it out. Kitchen arrived, which made it worse because I really want to get that kitchen in quickly now because we're rapidly approaching September this week, so I need to get a wiggle on because I need to get away from this place. It's costing us money and bills and everything and council tax, so that's one of the reasons I didn't get as many on. Also, Monday and Tuesday, for some reason, Monday and Tuesday is normally lower volumes in bets, but last Monday and Tuesday, which is the time I dedicated to it as well, seemed to be lower than normal than the previous 3 weeks. What I'll probably do is switch that round this week. So because of what I'd done last week is I took sort of Friday and Saturday and Sunday off. I had kind of 3 days off, which is another reason for the 83 because I spent more time doing the house and I was out on Saturday. And I didn't want to do any Sunday because then you have to reconcile them all to get the weekly figures, which I won't be doing going forwards. I'm going to change to monthly, but I'll explain more of that later in the video. So anyhow, we've gotten a lot lower number of bets, which I do think had a little impact because we started off badly in the week and it never really recovered. Well, it recovered a little bit because this was minus 37 at one point, and it was up to about minus 25% ROI, and the strike rate and that was as low as 47 at one point once the week got going. So it did pick up later in the week. I got quite a good, decent results further down. If we'd been doing the level stakes over here, you can see a £2 level stake. We would have, is that the £2 there? Is that the £2? Is that the £2? Yeah, I think it is. Is that 1, 5? I'm sure it's getting those numbers from. Bear with me, I'll just scroll up. Yeah, sorry, 1, 2, 5 and 10, there they are there. So if we'd done level staking, we would have been looking at a minus 6% loss, so we would only have lost £10. So not only was it a lower amount to lose, half the amount. Obviously we weren't staking as much, we were only staking £166, but we'd only have lost 6% of our stake. So last week we would have been better off again using standard stakes, level stakes instead of Kelly criterion. So to be honest, I'm not overly convinced with Kelly criterion. I don't know if I've just had a bad run, but to me it seems to put a lot more money on the more riskier bets due to the way the formula works. So you can see this £9 one here, which lost. It was only 1.43, which is still a low. That's quite low odds, but because the probability was 79 in that case, that was why that was £9. But a lot of them are high because the odds are high. Now, to me, if the odds are high, there's less chance of a win. I suppose if the odds are very, very low, like 1.29 there, you'd expect that to win all day, but did put £5 on that because the probability was up to 81. If I go down here, you can see that the number of losses were like ridiculous this week compared to normal. Scroll down here a little bit so you can see some of the history. The top ones there, the oldest, by the way, we've got the bet number here down the left hand side, so the later bets in the week are down the bottom here. So we lost a few there on that screen as we go down. We've lost 4 in a row there. We lost another 2, 1 there. And this £11 one, I just want to run through this one with you. This was a Betfair Sportsbook, which I've already been gubbed on. And as far as I'm concerned, we actually won this bet. But a little good T and C they've got in there, as if they can't find or confirm. I think they called it a official. That was it, official result. Then they void the bet, which they did in this case, whereas that bet actually won. I've got a screenshot here which I sent them as well, but they wouldn't have anything of it. So this bet was both teams to score no. Now you can see that the away team didn't score, and it was 3-0. I found that on Soccerway, and I also found it on a few others. So I did ask them, well, where do you get your official results from then? And apparently, they did come back and say Opta. So I had a quick look on Opta, but I couldn't find anything other than live scores on Opta. So I'm not sure what the crack is there, but a bit of a con. It just shows these bookies have got you like by the short and curlies. Absolute swindle. So that £11 was just refunded, whereas it actually won. It should have been about £18.15 returned. It should have been an £8.15 or £7.15. £7.15 profit. So something to bear in mind. Admittedly, it was an under 21s Algerian game. But at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, they're putting that market up on their site, and they're giving you all these different odds for things like corners and yellow cards and everything, and then they don't pay out because I've got both teams to score no. Swindle. Anyhow, that's my rant over on that one. We're still been at about a £15 loss, but it would have been a bit better. It did happen to be, the other reason it riled me a little bit is because it was the highest bet I've ever put on, and it actually won, but it wouldn't pay out. You can see quite a few more losses in this patch here. If you look at include that game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games we've only won 2, which is scandalous based on these odds. Coming down here, you're looking for way over 60% strike rate to make profit on this thing. You can see we had a bit of a better run there, but then we did lose another 4 in a row, 2 of which were £5 bets and 1 was a 3. I think these 2 5. I think actually all those 3 games, the 2 5s and the 3, were all on the same game. Different. I think it was an odds on. I think that 1.25 there was a home win. And the other 2 just followed suit with low odds as well, and obviously the home team didn't win. I don't even think they got a draw. It's just a shock result. We did win a £3 and a £4 one there. Moving a bit further down, won a few, and it picked up a little bit, so we lost 3 here, a £3 and a £4. And if we go down here, I've won a few down here together. That £4 was refunded again by Sportsbook, but that was a draw, no bet. So I can understand that one. And then we had a few winners and 1 loser at the second bottom here. These boosts here were £4, and I just wanted to show you this with a Kelly criterion as well, just a little example here. So this was the same game. This was over 2.5 goals, and this was over 3.5 goals, the same game. So I think it was a home favourite. I'm not sure who the teams were. But when I went on to lads for this one, it said that was the probability, 78.51%, and then the odds were 1.30. But with lads, you get like so many weekly boosts, and so I used a boost to boost it from 1.30, and I boosted it up to 1.33. It's just when you place your bets. When I placed it was actually going to be a £2 bet. So if I show you how much this changes, it's absolutely crazy. So it's like, well, it's crazy to me anyway. So that was 1.3 according to break and bet, and when I went into the lads, it was 1.3. It's taken absolutely ages to update here. Yeah. I don't know what happened there, it's just took ages, the screen went blank and then it's come back on now. So I've changed that to 1.3 and I should have been putting £2 on the bet, but as soon as I changed it to 1.33 it changes it to £4. So even the 0.03 difference changes it by £2, which is like double the stake. And that's like just the Kelly criterion formula. Like I see, I've double, triple checked it, and it's working fine. But some of the bets are like just, I don't know, too high for my liking. What I want to do now then, that's the week. Obviously pretty poor. I did, if you remember from previous videos, I've been doing pivot table by odds. This machine is running so slow. Because in the past few weeks, the first 3 weeks, the higher the odds, the worse my performance is. But obviously this week it's the opposite. 1.8 through to 2 is the only 2 areas I've made profit. All the other sets of odds have been negative, apart from 1.1 to 1.2. We had one bet and obviously won. So we won 68 pence, but all the others are negative. But that's because we've had a pretty negative week. So what I want to do is just go in and show you a comparison for the 4 weeks. Now we've hit the end of the 4 weeks trial. When I say a trial, that's my trial. I've actually signed up to Break and Bet. It's not like a trial period of Break and Bet. It's only 10 euros a month, so I'm continuing with that. So if I go into the week, it's all in this week 3 thing. I've got everything all over here. It should have been in a separate sheet, but it doesn't matter. So if I go into a summary of the 4 weeks, once this loads up. God, so slow. I've got the hotspot phone in with me today in the office with me as well. It's normally next door. It's still slow. So if I look at the 4 week summary, that's the summary there. So week 1 we had a profit of £14. Pushing luck trying to move around in this spreadsheet. Connection loss, nothing's going right here. Week 2 we had a profit of £5.72, and then remember we moved on to Kelly criterion week 3 and 4, and they've got a minus £5.45 and a minus £21.70. So the first thing, overall profit we're down minus £7.24, which isn't major on it. We've staked £1,048. So I lost my mouse, yeah. I think, oh, there we go. We've staked £1,048 and we've put 559 bets on. And you can see we've done a lot less this week than we have in the previous weeks, which is something I'm going to try and pick up this week. I'm going to take sort of today and tomorrow, yesterday and today off mainly, and then do more at the weekends because there is a lot more bets to get on at the weekend. You can see the ROIs there, the strike rates. So this 4th week was definitely the worst strike rate as well. Second, just behind, a little bit behind week 1. Week 1 we were only working on settings of 55% probability on the games anyway, so I wasn't expecting much more than 55. The 2nd, 3rd and 4th week we were working on 60%. I'm going to leave that at 60% for the next week. But what I am going to do, I'm going to revert back to week 2 staking plan, which was the £2 per bet, just to see how it goes and see if we get a profitable week again. I just think that's more sensible than carrying on with this scenario, although it's not a big data set by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I'm going to start looking at this by the month going forward, not by the week, and I'm going to stop micromanaging it so much. The only thing I might change after that is the 60% probability. I might take it down to 55 so I can get on more bets, but then I'm going to see how that affects the strike rate and the profit. So you can see there we've made minus £7.34. However, if we'd used £2 stakes for all 4 weeks, we would have actually made a profit of £35.98, which is another reason to back up why I'm going back to the level staking plan. The only week we lost would have been the £10.42 from this latest week, which was obviously £21.70 on the Kelly criterion. If we'd been using £5 stakes, we would have been £89.95 up, and if we'd been using £10 stakes, we would have been £179.90 up. I am stake restricted on Betfair Sportsbook, so I'm not even 100% sure I'd have been able to get £10 on every selection, but I definitely got that £11 one on the other day. But with them being low odds, I think I might be okay with £10. So if I bit the bullet, what I'm saying is if I bit the bullet and I would put £10 stake on every single bet, if you had a big enough bank, which I probably did, would have meant probably getting on for not 10 times, but nearly 10 times. We'd been talking 800-900 quid's worth of bets, I think. Sorry, that's £1,000. Sorry, £8,000 or £9,000 worth of bets, because I've placed 1,000. It does not mount up when you're placing that many bets. Yeah, 8,000 or 9,000. You don't need that money though, because it's all done sort of gradually. You don't put it all on at once or anything like that. But we would have had £179 profit, which isn't bad for a month. It could be better. So going to the odds analysis then, which has been scuppered in the last week. Just finally look at the odds analysis. You can see here the problem we've had in this fourth week is I got on nothing over 2.0. I don't even know what that one was there. Actually, I could probably work it out because I can't, because I don't know what the stake was. We won £4.55 off that one bet. And we got 100%, so that one bet did win, but I don't know what the stake was, so I don't know what the 4.55 was. Anyhow, fact of the matter is we didn't get on anything over 2 last week, which is a bit annoying, because that was what I was looking to weed out, because this bit here, even back to 1.9 I think we were looking at. So here's the overall totals by odds. So I've got like 1.1 to 1.2 all the way through to 2.5, which is the maximum. Because I was thinking, if you remember, if I go down a little bit, I've got a little summary down here. So if you look at that first row there, if I've filtered the first 3 weeks down to 1.2 to 1.9, got £9.80 profit, £4.72 profit, and £43 profit compared to that £5 loss. But then this week would have been a £26 profit. A £26 loss, because I would have been taken out that 4.55 as well. So you would have been minus 21 plus the 4.55 is your 26.93. Doesn't actually quite add up, but it's not far off. So what I'm going to do for the next week is just leave that. I'm just going to leave it at 2.5 and get week 5's data, and then see where we're sat at that point, because I can export the data from Breaking Bet. I'm not going to continue with these weekly spreadsheets. I'm just going to do a monthly. I'm going to do a monthly review at the end of this month, which is obviously Wednesday. Is the last day of the month tomorrow. It's the 30th today, isn't it? I don't know where this month's gone. So I'll do a weekly review. A monthly review close at the end of the week to show you how I've done. I've got a few bets on here, but I'll show you where I'm at the moment. Actually, if we go to the profile, I actually paused this for Saturday and Sunday, which I think I might have mentioned when I was reviewing it, but it's a really, really good and fair system, I think. And it worked really well. I just clicked on freeze and I froze it for 2 days. There you can see the freeze start date. I froze it at 20 past 10 on the 27th until 20 past 10 on the 29th. So I froze it for 2 days, and you can freeze it for anything up to however many days you've got left there. It tells you available freezing days, 28, because when you pay for a month you get your 30 days. And I've frozen it for 2 days, so I can still do another 28 days freeze. It's really good if you're going on holiday. I mean, I was just going out for the day and knew I wasn't going to do any bets on the Sunday either, so I just froze it till yesterday morning. I come on yesterday morning and just unfroze it. Well, I think it automatically unfroze at 20 past 10 yesterday morning. That's how it did work. But it means now, instead of this was expiring I think on the 30th of August, and I had to pay again on the 30th of August, but now I get an extra couple of days out of it because I didn't use it. I think that's a phenomenal service as far as I'm concerned. It's the first time I've actually seen something like that, to be honest. I think it's a really fair way of doing things. You know, if you want to, especially with this kind of system it is, you have to manually work on it. You have to be sat in front of the computer to use it. And if you know you're not going to be able to do that for a specific day, come in and freeze your subscription. It's an absolutely fantastic idea, and I think really fair for the customer. Anyhow, so that's what I've done. So that now isn't due to be repaid now until the 1st of September, which is a little bit better because that's the start of the month. So if I go into the betting history, I've got a few outstanding bets now because I put a few on today and yesterday afternoon or yesterday evening. If this ever goes into the betting history. You can see I've got £28 worth of bets in place, so they're pending, so you can't really, so you can see I'm down £30 now, but I've got £28 pending. But what I'm going to do going forward now, I'm going to look at week 5's data to see about the odds bands, the odd banding between 1.9 and over. And if it's detrimental next week, I'm going to boot that out and change my settings from 2.5 highest odds down to about 1.9 or 2. And then going forward after that, I'm just going to do a monthly review on where we're at. But I will be using this software going forward. I know that's quite low there, but by the time these bets have settled, it'll be a lot closer to zero than it is minus £30 there. By the time you've had £28 worth of bets settled, because it's taking that £28 off your balance anyway, so any winnings just gets added back on now. You can still see Bet365, you can still see still not performing very well. So I'm going to have a little look at that, because normally you get the best odds on Bet365, but I'm just wondering if that's why. They normally have the better odds, so they're probably perceived as the better value. But maybe that's the reason why they're not better value. It's just because Bet365 are giving you better odds. So there's an argument there. I'll try taking Bet365 out of the equation. I haven't been getting on as many Ladbrokes either, because there's a little bug in their system which I've spoken about and still haven't fixed yet. But some of the markets, like the DNB1 and DNB2, which is a draw no bets, they don't have the correct odds. They come back on breaking bets saying, oh yes, this is a good bet to get on when you go into Ladbrokes. The odds are lower, typically lower. They're never higher, they're just lower. And it's only on a certain number of markets, but it's a bit infuriating. Keep going in, wasting your time looking at them. You can see I placed 82 bets and only £3. By far the best performing bookie is Betfair Sportsbook, but I don't know if a lot of this is just luck or, but that is one aspect of, I think Bet365 in the industry is renowned as sort of a good bookies for the odds. So maybe if they open their odds, it would come across as a perceived good value, and that's why you're getting on all these bets, and that's possibly as well why they're not winning as much. You can see we've put on 276 bets, £535, and out of that £535 we've only had £503 back. So we'll see how that goes. I'm leaving it on for the minute, but it's another future tweak. Okay, that's it for week 4. Bit of a disappointing week to summarise, but overall I'm going to carry on with the software just because I like the look and feel of it. It's not difficult to use, and I think we can get some decent results, and we'll see going back to the level staking plan whether it goes back to the profits we were seeing in week 1 and 2 rather than the losses we saw in week 3 and 4, or whether that was just coincidence. Okay, cheers now. Thanks for watching. Bye.